Good morning. My name is Sharon Diggs Jackson, and I'm the exhibit curator for the African American Cultural Center of Long Beach. We are excited to be able to present to you a family exhibit focusing on the family of Freeman Davis and Mr. William Arnold Booker. Mr. Davis was an amazing musician. He was one of the earliest black settlers here in the city of Long Beach. And so we are honored to be able to present the Davis and Booker family exhibit to you.
Good morning, everybody. Kenny Booker's my name, and they're featuring the combination of my two families, the Booker family and the Davis family. And we start this morning with my grandfather. His real name is Freeman Davis, and his screen name or his whistling name was Brother Bones. And he started off with different type of medium. He had rosewood, he had bones, he could even play forks and spoons, knives, that type of thing. And Brother Bones, once again, was his screen name, and he whistled Sweet Georgia Brown for the Harlem Globetrotters. And this was the record label that he worked on, was Tempo Records, and he has letters and memorabilia of all those years that he traveled around the world with the Harlem Globetrotters. This is the original gold record that he had when he whistled for the Harlem Globetrotters.
Well, one of the things that was unique about Brother Bones is that most Bones players only played two. He actually could play four in each of his hands in order to be able to keep up the rhythm and all of that. But not only could he play the bones, but he would whistle and tap dance at the same time. There were no other artists who could do all three of those skills at one particular time.
This is a letter from him back in the day where he was on the Ed Sullivan Show. This is a picture of him on the Ed Sullivan Show. He was on there, he had a whistle off from Dean Cosby, and according to Sharon, she told me that he helped teach Dean Cosby how to whistle.
Actually, when they were in a movie together called Riding High, and there was a lot of whistling. And so Brother Bones served as sort of his instructor, his teacher, and helped him to get through that movie. But he also worked with Jimmy Stewart. Again, he appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show. He was just well known for his multiple talents, not just being singular.
Yes, that was that cat, all right.
Mr. Freeman, during his career here in Long Beach, he had a shoe shine shop. He was a chauffeur. He was a man who always had a job. Well, he was a performer, but he always had a steady job. And it talks about, in this little write-up here, it talks a little bit about some of his early things, but he actually performed on KFOX Radio on a children's show called the School Kids Program, and this would have been 1929. So again, he was an early Long Beach resident. One of the interesting stories about KFOX, it was a radio station, a country radio station that was well known here in Long Beach. It was located on Anaheim Street. That radio station was later bought by a man by the name of John Lamar Hill. Mr. Hill went on to, was a famous architect and an engineer, but he built Angelus Funeral Home in Los Angeles. But what's the interesting story, when he bought the radio station KFOX, he changed the name to KJLH. So the KJLH that we know today, that we like to say kindness, joy, love, and happiness, actually stands for John Lamar Hill, the gentleman who bought the station. It operated out of Long Beach for many years, and when the audience, it went on to become the largest black radio station along the West Coast. And so as the audience grew, they relocated up to Baldwin Hills so that they could have a bigger antenna in which to broadcast to the public. So KJLH started here in Long Beach.
So Whistling Sam was a nickname for Brother Bones or Freeman Davis. And as we were doing this, Sharon had pointed out that my grandfather shined shoes, And as he was shining shoes, he could whistle so loud until some of the people who would pass by would stop and be entertained. And Mr. Ernest McBride pointed out that he could entertain, shine shoes, and people would stop and be entertained on the way when they were driving down because of his whistling was so loud. This is on the Booker side, my father's side of the family, which was Hood and Ophelia Booker. And of course, they were in Tulsa, Oklahoma during the massacre. And it was a Tulsa race massacre. And just recently, they found a mass grave with a lot of people in there. And they kind of dug up some of the ugly history in Tulsa, Oklahoma. My grandfather, which I never got a chance to meet, was Hood Booker. And he worked for a guy who owned an oil field, an oil company. And he knew how to repair things around the business, and so he kept Mr. Wilcox in business. And when the riot actually took place, he kind of saved my family on my father's side and took them in and let them live with them. This was a picture of Ophelia Booker and Hood Booker. And kind of go back a little bit after my family came to California. This is a picture of my father, Arnold Booker, and my mother, Josephine Davis, on their wedding night. And this is her wedding gown and the two ring bearers. This guy right here is named Charles Stewart, and he started as an official in Pop Warner, and he worked his way all the way up to the NFL booth as an NFL official. This is my father's saxophone, and he played back in the Dunbar Hotel back in the day when the jazz era was back in probably the 1940s, somewhere around there. And this is my grandfather. They had a trio, and this is at the Dunbar Hotel. This is my mom and my father, William Booker. There are two Kenny Bookers. There's one that was a survivor of the Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he was on the reel when they filmed the Tulsa, Oklahoma riot as a survivor. And one of his famous heroes was John Hope Franklin. And the other Kenny Booker is me. I was very fortunate to get a chance to play for a guy named John Wooden on 2 national championship teams. And this is just a memorabilia of the first day of practice when I was at UCLA. This is a little artwork that my mom used to do. She worked in all different kind of medium. And one day I was watching the Bill Cosby show, and I saw this picture. It looks like it's a funeral progression. I said, "Mom, could you do that for me?" She said, "Yeah, I can do that." So she did that. She did a takeoff from Ernie Barnes.
As a young girl who was born and raised here in Long Beach in 1956, many of the women who you see in this picture were sort of our athletic heroes. So Daisy, Martha, Sonia, Gus helped to show all of us younger women that our athletic skills could be utilized and be put to good use as well. So I just want to make sure that Daisy gets her full due of having been a very well recognized track star here in Long Beach, and she inspired many, many young women as we think about Long Beach Poly and the success that they've had with women's track and field. A lot of that comes from the comments from Ron Alice, and for this group of women right here helping to set that legacy of amazing track and field athletes here in Long Beach. continue on a little bit about Daisy. Not only was she an amazing athlete, but also had an artistic flair. I think she got that from her mother. Those genes must have been passed down, because as we've seen the beautiful artwork from Josephine, Daisy in her own right is an amazing photographer. If you ever go to her house, she's an entertainer. So she will set a table for you that would rival anything that you would see in England or London or anything like that. So these photos are taken by Daisy. She also creates cards that she sells. One of my favorite pictures, I think, in one of all of the exhibits is actually a picture of them with their grandmother. As somebody who barely knew their grandparents, I would have loved to have had a photo of myself with my grandmother.
Hello, my name is Daisy Kathleen Booker. I'm over here at Cal State Long Beach, over at the Pyramid. And I'm here today to discuss a few things regarding my family history. I'm a product of the Long Beach Unified School District, with Burnett, with Franklin, with Holly, Long Beach State, got teacher credential. Don't ever let the coach tell you that you rather run than go to school. You get a good education. So that's the name of the game. I tried out for the Olympics twice. Tennessee State, get it, the notice. I majored in psychology. Then I minored in physical education, but that's where I got my job in physical education. I worked at Lake School District. I worked in Linwood School District. I also worked in Long Beach Unified School District. I have 25 years underneath my belt. I enjoyed teaching table settings, making consignments for Mother's Day for my kids. I taught etiquette for 5 years in the school district. Thank you.